No.
I don't know. It's kind of fickle sometimes on whether I hear the echo because, like, I'll think, oh, it's finally done echoing, and then all of a sudden it just picks up that last bit, and then I hear myself, and I'm like, oh, this is how I sound to people. Oh. But so far, so good.
That's good.
Did you just fart?
No, I did a noise thing for stimming because I threw an interception.
Oh, I figured it was either that or you just, like, rip ass right into the microphone.
No! No! Or
Hey, that's what Dennis Allen did.
I saw this in a Dennis Allen movie once.
And I bet you Juggerbear knows all about that.
Tell me, Juggerbear, where did the nasty Dennis Allen affect you?
Good question. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I just love the screen brightness of like the Untitled Waiting Project Full House image. I just love the brightness of like
Yeah, before we get started, I got some litter boxes to scoop and some dishes to do. I'll be right back.
All good.
Right. I just love how bright it gets.
Scott Tradcast.
Oh no, I'm surprised no one got the deep cut "My Name Is Earl" insert. It's one of the greatest shows of all time. What are you meaning? My Name Is Earl is simply put peak. Don't
it's a
hate.
certified hood classic, honestly. I don't know. I really like the fact that you included Grunkle Stunkle there.
Yeah. Shut up. You're VTuber.
All right, we get it. You've never had sex before. My God, why don't you just come into a body pillow or something? Fuck off.
Wild.
Listen, you could be like 5-point Viz and just, jack off in a shed.
Yo, catch that, you motherfucker! Oh, that was a perfect pass. That was the perfect Hail Mary.
Yeah, I still love walking into that moment on the dumpster fire during draft night. Just walking in during that, well, I'm in this voice call. Walking in and seeing chat going crazy about that, and it's like, oh god, what did I walk into?
And then you just called 5 points of vids of Mr. Potato Head.
Also, I love how I included both Noah's old PFP and new PFP on it. I thought that was really funny for some reason.
It did the same thing for you, I noticed.
Yeah, I also kind of did it with Juggerbear as well. Technically, Juggerbear has 3 logos. The Yankees JB, the fucking, the Bear With Us one, and then his, one that you made.
Yeah,
we have an over amount of Juggerbear representation on the channel.
Honestly, I'm the old norm, and I want my normal sickos.
What the? Okay, are you gonna snap?
Sorry, I just...
Colorado State, you gotta snap the ball, right?
Oh, I thought you were asking if I was gonna snap, like... I didn't think...
They just took a delay of game. What the fuck?
I was just like...
I've never seen that in my life.
I was just... Okay. I will say I do like the tobacco representation on this thumbnail. We got both Zin and Barbies.
I haven't seen them yet. How's it going, Noah? You're not really too much, so we want to make sure you're not dead or something.
I think his microphone might be dead or something. That boy, always obsessed with his lists.
How do you get $50? How do you get $50 if you win?
I mean, hey, I got $50 from it.
Right, but what if you win? How do you get the money?
Just keeps it, probably.
I don't know. I
Damn.
think it's all a big conspiracy.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
guys,
wow.
I voted today. I voted for a brighter, sick future.
Let me guess. You voted for Freddy Fazbear again?
Look, all I can say is the man knows his way with words.
Look, man, I'm just saying, Hank Hill found a way onto the Nevada ballot. You will know what happened.
My favorite part about the Nevada election so far is that Jill Stein made her way on the ballot, but as a proposal because the Green Party fucked up that bad. So it's literally Jill Stein, yes or no.
You know, I think my favorite part about voting in Nevada is the option when you don't know what these people are and you have the option to pick none of these candidates. I have that option and I love using it.
Nick, we all know that you voted for Gardner Minshew. It's okay.
Listen, Gardner Minshew lost my vote after I had to see those war crimes in LA.
Worst thing to happen in LA, and that's including what happened to Rodney King. No one got that. I hate that.
I got it.
I got it. I just find it. I was like, yep, okay. You know what? If you're gonna make an LA joke like that, yeah, it's usually. I mean, if you're making it fucked up, yeah, it's probably gonna be something like that. Also, by the way, I don't know what's funnier, the joke itself or the fact that you hear Taegan heavily breathing, trying not to laugh.
It sounded like the exact same like pissing and shitting, like breathing thing you hear like a bad comedian where it's like, you guys don't even know comedy, man.
It's like he's trying to it's like he's laughing while also trying to gasp for air.
Yo, Not a Surf said they were popular, and I agree. That song is pretty good. Crazy how it's mostly spoken word too. He sings for like maybe 25% of the song.
I don't hate that. You know,
No, I don't hate it either. I'm just saying it's funny.
I mean, like, hey, I'm used to like spoken word kind of stuff like that. I mean, like going to sticking with the theme of surfers, you know, you got the butthole surfers doing the same thing.
Good. Good. They shouldn't. They're a dying organization that died when Nick Saban stopped being the coach there.
Also, what is up with Bill Belichick's costume this year?
What was his costume this year?
He dressed
I see it.
He dressed up as a fisherman, and then he had his girlfriend dress up as a mermaid.
Yeah.
No, his girlfriend dressed up as himself. No. Girlfriend dressed up as him for Halloween.
Yeah.
There's no way.
It is real. I'm sending you. You know what? Taegan, I'm gonna send you this. It is time for you to see what we have.
I mean, it's better than what I told Nick last night. That said he would whatever that politician's name himself.
Trudeau?
Yeah.
No, not Trudeau.
Not him. That was just yeah, we're not bringing that video up.
What video?
The video you tagged me in. We're not bringing that up.
Uh,
Why do I feel like it's that, like, brain rot dinner?
no, it's not that. Which I saw they made a sequel today, which I'm watching it.
Oh, no.
Yeah!
No.
Let me tell you, when I say the video that Taegan tagged me in, the video that he tagged me in, I would rather see the other brain rot 100 times over than have to watch that video over again.
Hey kids, it's time for Feature Pulse and Monthly! Yeah! I like my cheese. It's so funny. That's what makes it hilarious, man. The youth yearns for Fred.
I don't.
You're... Oh, I did say, did you guys watch the new Norm episode?
No.
Because the new Norm is based. I'm
I am only ever watching. Now listen here, buddy. I'm only ever watching the new Norm if I get to watch it on the Game Boy Advance. That is the only way I am ever watching that shit.
Dude, you breathe like my dog did, like, months before she was put down.
Who? Who's that too?
Taegan, when you're doing that, like, suppressed laugh thing, it sounds like my dog.
It's better than the wheeze that I used to do.
Like it's not bad. It's just funny how close it sounds to the mic. It sounds so close. It's like the air is like a fucking tsunami. Okay, we don't need that.
It sounded almost like Muscle Man when he did that.
Oh no, bro.
I feel like when Taegan's trying not to laugh, he sounds like a jet engine.
This shit's taken off to fucking Iowa City.
Good.
William Afton GT.
That's Michael Myers GT to you, fake fan.
Look,
Buddy
he's...
threw that straight to him, and goodbye. That's pick 6 on your grave.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back, ancient Emperor Biden.
Excellent.
He's
Joe
also
Biden's gonna
cursed
send you
as
to the
well.
Shadow Realm after you don't beat him in this children's card game.
Curse of the Biden blast.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, watch them try to get Pat McAfee as their next GM. The Colts.
Yeah, we'll have a lot to say. We'll have a lot to say on the show about the Colts, definitely.
Well, he couldn't do the McAfee show anymore. He also couldn't do.
Yeah, but think about it this way: if they get McAfee to be the GM, that means Rodgers can maybe go to the Colts next year.
No, he's going. He's going to the Vikings, whether you like it or not, Spencer.
Or he goes to the Colts to be with his buddy McAfee.
And hey, Aaron Rodgers does seem like he'd fit well in Indiana.
Yeah, it always feels like Diet Utah out there. It's in both the good ways and the bad.
Ah, I see. I saw.
Listen, just imagine if Aaron Rodgers takes a visit to Gary. Just imagine.
Oh no!
Gary, Indiana.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough out there. You know, when I was a kid, I didn't realize that Pittsburgh also made steel. So I thought they always stole the Steelers from Gary.
They stole the Steelers. First women in Ghostbusters, and now they're stealing the Steelers. Come on, Hollywood, what you?
This is life under the rule of Hollywood.
Stupid woke nonsense, making all the good quarterbacks black. Back in my day, my quarterback used to be good and racist.
I want my old beer, damn it. Yeah.
We gotta wait. I want to make sure Noah's actually listening to us.
Oh, God.
This is the test. Can you hear me? Can
Oh,
you hear
there
me?
We
you
can
are,
finally
there
hear
you
you.
are. Whoa.
What happened? What happened? We didn't hear you for a bit. We thought you died.
Oh, I'm already inside.
We thought you died for real, though. Like,
Sorry, I didn't. Mic has to be adjusted. My bad.
It's fine.
idiot. It's all ever
Yes. Hello, everyone, and we are looking good here. Morale's low. We've already had to take a hunk of Juggerbear's leg.
Hey, I
We
did not appreciate that, by the way.
look when
And
you let the Dodgers win. I mean, you kind of give up all your rights to do anything. But if you can't tell, welcome to the Untitled Sickos podcast, where everyone here is quite depressed about their teams, which is a good time to really talk about them. But before all that, let's get into everyone being here. I am Bears fan. I very much regret saying the B word right now because there's a lot of things. But I am Bears fan.
I'm Carsausage, and I'm ashamed to admit I thought this year would be different for the Vikings. Shame on me.
I'm Juggerbear, and I'm very depressed about the Yankees just handing the Dodgers a World Series title.
I am the MaskedAura, and I am sad because the Seattle Kraken are mid, the Canucks are mid, the Maple Leafs are mid, the Seahawks are mid, the Mariners are mid. Everybody is mid. The Washington Huskies are mid. Everything is just mid.
Hello, I'm Nickman. I'm currently huffing propane. Let's leave it at that.
And we're actually contemplating pimping him out to urinating tree to afford the editing basement.
Yeah. We don't have any food. There's just no more crackers. We also have.
Sorry, the crackers have disappeared. The crackers have. They have disappeared. Just like my enjoyment of football on Sunday.
We have one more person as well.
I'm 24 Amper. I root for the Sixers. Next.
I thought you were gonna talk more about the Texans more than anything.
Hey, at least they don't kick me in the dick every single day they play, or before they play. Yeah, the Texans loss was bad, but the Sixers are just. The Texans loss was bad, but that's what the Sixers are. They're just bad.
Yeah. That's fair.
Ooh,
At least you got something from Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons.
Come on.
Oh shit, the engine's taking off.
I'm gonna be honest about Ben Simmons. I'm surprised. I thought he would have had something flicked in his eye and would have been out for the season. I'm just impressed that that Ben Simmons is just not out because the breeze knocked him over, something like that.
Listen, man, that was a really stiff breeze. You weren't there.
I know. I'm surprised. Like a particle of dust didn't get flicked in his face, and he had to be declared out for the season because of it. I'm just as impressed as you are.
Well,
Could you imagine if Ben Simmons and Sam Bradford got placed in the same room?
I'm pretty sure they'd shake each other's hands and then they'd break their wrists in the process.
Listen, they would be both used as science for sports. Okay, this is how we evolve with injuries in sports. We need to take the two guinea pigs here, Ben Simmons and Sam Bradford, and see what happens when you put them together. Just see what happens.
But
They've injured new bones that humans have never seen before.
yeah, Ben Simmons, truly the only basketball player I've seen to get out because he woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Damn, he would do that. Maybe that's why he didn't play all last year, or like very little. He woke
Honestly,
up on the wrong side of the bed.
I just thought he was ass.
I mean, that's
But
a
it-
condition too. Just sucking ass
Yeah.
at your sport. That's a condition too.
Yeah, unless you're Mr. Ass Billy Gunn, in which being ass is a compliment. Because
Yeah.
you're literally the Mr. Ass.
But yeah, it seems like our good friend Ben Simmons suffers a bad case of arthritis. Damn, you really laughed like some oil tycoon from the 1930s.
No, he laughs like Jerry Jones whenever he says Dak.
Anywho.
Run like that. It was like good old days.
Come on,
Dak,
Dak, we need you
ask-
to make
I-
a comeback to win against the Niners. I'm gonna laugh so hard about that.
Anywho, I did want to say something real quick. With the way that the Texans are playing, are you sure that they didn't take a page out of the Sixers book? I mean, literally everyone hurts.
Honestly, that's unfortunately more realistic than that probably should be. It's been rough, especially now that Stephon Diggs is out for the year.
Sorry,
Coming back, Will, so that's...
I just got jump scared by my ExpressVPN updater.
Oh.
You know what? You know what the Houston Texans need to do? Just put on some Skrillex and let it go from there.
Yeah, really roll it back to 2012 and see if Arian Foster's doing anything.
True.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, well, seeing their receiver situation, I mean, yeah, you know what? There would be room for Arian Foster behind Joe Mixon right now.
Or Alfred Blue.
Who?
Alfred Blue, one of the greatest running backs of all time.
No. Forget about that. They need to get Andre Johnson off the couch. That's what needs to happen.
Oh man, see if you can punch more annoying safeties.
Yeah. I mean, hey, it would work very well.
Oh wait, they play the Lions, so like there's a possibility that Andre Johnson could like knock Kirby Joseph's clock off.
Yeah.
And that I want to see. Anyway.
Well, moving on to the more depressing stuff. As you can tell, all of our teams are not doing too hot right now. Even though a lot of us really have pretty okay-ish teams besides the Saints. But it's rough now, and I feel it's better to start with baseball first with the Yankees.
I've been dreading making that Untitled Yankees Project video. Oh boy, game 1. Who do you choose? Your reliable reliever all postseason Tim Hill, or the mystery box Nestor Cortez, who just came off of injury? And you're facing Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, and Freddie Freeman. Who do you choose? Let's take it to our guest panel.
Mark Leiter Jr.
He was being taken out because he walked like several batters.
Aw,
That's why the
shucks.
bases are loaded. I forgot to mention that.
Hey, Jack, it's me, Joe Biden. I think you should go with the mystery box.
Ding ding ding, you are correct. Let's see
It's-
what happens. One pitch, fly out to Otani. Hey, this is going pretty good. Let's try that again on. Oh no. Freddie Freeman just had a walk-off grand slam. Okay, game 2, offense takes a day off. Okay, we're down 2-0 going to Yankee Stadium. Not a big deal. Game 3, get crapped on by the withered husk of Walker Buehler, who just realized he's a good pitcher again. Okay, game 4, bullpen game, let's win this. Okay, we do 11-4. Okay, game 5, we're up 5-0 in the top of the 5th. Surely we can't blow this. Oh, error to Aaron Judge. Oh, error from Volpe on a throw to Chisholm. Okay, not a big deal. Here's a grounder to your quote, good defensive first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Oh, he's not running to try and beat Mookie, and Cole's not backing him up. Okay, 1 run scored, not a big deal. And oh, Freddie Freeman just, knocked in 2 more runs. Okay, we still have a 2-run lead, and oh, Teoscar Hernandez just hit a game-tying double. Okay, you know what? Giancarlo Stanton, he's given us the lead again. He's been great all postseason. And oh no, another bullpen implosion. We give up 2 runs. Dodgers up 1. It's okay, not a big deal. We're at home. Freaking Verdugo, Wells, and Volpe are up. Volpe's been good all postseason. For some reason, Verdugo realized he can hit RBIs in the World Series, and they all strike out. Series over. Game over. Yankees lose. I cry.
This has been me, Joe Biden. What did I win?
Dodger arrogance. That's what you win.
Hooray. This is a good prize for me, the President of the United States.
Yeah, you won Dodger arrogance and more traffic in LA.
And
Truly
a couple
another
Dodger
lane.
fans losing their fingers.
Truly another lane could fix this. Am I right, fellow Americans?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But yes, the Yankees are not looking too hot. But hey, at least there's hope. The AL still looks like dog shit.
Unfortunately, Soto's gonna be a Mariner.
That may be true.
Yeah, and I think a certain somebody just perked up.
That certain someone didn't really perk up.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard. I'm surprised I haven't heard some Canadian noises.
Sorry, I was away from the mic eating craft dinner and.
Oh shit! Fucking hell! Sorry, I.
Celine Dion.
Okay, how about you shut the fuck up, eh?
Spoilers.
I was okay. Here's another funny truth. I moved my mic and I accidentally slapped it off. Just.
Oh my god.
Wait, I did perk up, by the way. Who's going to Seattle, Mike? Maybe.
Juan Soto.
Oh, he's outfield. Never mind. No, our outfield's like rock solid. It is actually rock solid. We got Julio and Rosarina. So much so, I'd love to see Juan Soto. It's not happening. It's if Soto played infield, absolutely. But no, Soto plays outfield, so it's not happening.
Yeah, he's one of those OnlyFans guys that I see pop up on the baseball roster.
I see. I too am a DH connoisseur as well.
Yeah, in case you're wondering, Untitled Yankees project will happen when it will happen whenever it happens. Just
It'll
Jugger,
happen when I stop grieving.
Yeah, Jugger. Yeah, when you stop breathing, just send the thing to me.
Grieving. I don't think he.
There goes the Taegan jet.
Expected by like 2050.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Right around when our fantasy football watch along comes out.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, Christmas 2050.
It's gonna be so lit.
Mm-hmm. It is gonna be good. It is gonna be so
almost
good.
as almost as good as the career of Bobby Coleman.
Bobby Coleman. What a horrible father.
Yo, anybody want some extra toasty Cheez-Its?
Well,
I'm
we
good.
kind of need to
I
ration them out
I still got Doritos.
because
So I guess, okay, now that we got we got the Bronx sadness out of the way, which sadness is next?
let's go to the Texans.
Wait, didn't we already talk about the Texans?
No.
Nah,
Well,
we
kind of,
we
but it was
alluded to
short.
it.
Yeah, we alluded to it, but if Noah wants to go more in depth about it, then go ahead.
Wait, are we talking about? We're talking about Texans versus Jets, or Texans versus Colts, or just Texans in general?
I mean, in general, because yikes.
Yeah, truth be told, it has been a very sketchy last couple of weeks. Ever since Nico Collins went down against the Bills, it's been pretty rough. Aside from one offensive masterclass against the Pats. Unfortunately, Tank Dell has just not had a great year, and I think this was really the first game he's had all year where he really had his rookie year form, and even then it wasn't enough. Losing Stephon Diggs for injury, pretty much for the season, that's pretty much made Stroud, and that's pretty much forced Stroud to pretty much become a superhuman demigod, which, much as I love him, he can't do much with that. He can't do much without a WR2. And for as good as Dell can be, he is only one wide receiver. Stop him, stop the offense. Not to mention that the offensive line has been absolutely horrible all year long. I think Stroud got sacked 8 times last night against the Jets.
Yeah,
He did.
Keeps committing false starts. And then even when he isn't getting sacked, he has to run for his life. He can't throw in the pocket. I don't know how many. I feel like he only threw like some 10 passes all game in the pocket. Every other play he was running for his life.
I gotta be honest. Something I noticed when you guys played the Vikings. Stroud seems to be really bad against the blitz. Like I noticed that he got pressured a ton against Minnesota, and although I'm not sure how much of that is on him or how much is on Tunsil just being the worst.
It might honestly be a bit of both Stroud and the offensive line. The amount of times he's trying to create plays instead of just reading through his progressions and finding these guys. It definitely does need support.
Yeah, I mean, just watching Texans Jets, seeing how that game was playing out, it was noticeable early that, okay, the Texans O-line is having a rough time against this Jets defense, but it just kept going and going with just the Texans O-line just constantly getting beat by the Jets edge rushers, and it's just good lord, they haven't been able to get anything going tonight with how bad the O-line is playing and all that stuff, and it's like I mean, I know the Texans O-line's had its struggles this season, but it felt like the struggles that they've had this season were just truly amplified to 11 for this game, because that was just yikes. That was a horrible O-line performance.
Yeah, one of the worst I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly and I mean, going back and watching some of the highlights, the fact that Tank Dell and Joe Mixon were even able to get over 100 yards might be a miracle with how that O-line was just falling over itself so many times repeatedly.
Wait, who's your guys' O-line coordinator? I'm curious now.
Let me take a look.
I'm looking. Somebody named Chris Strouser. Who
Strouser.
which you
Oh, this is his. Oh, who was the offensive line coach for Indy the years after Andrew Luck?
Oh. And he was the tackles coach for the 2018 Denver Broncos. You know, where the year where Case Keenum notably took a step back.
I mean, I don't know. Just, I guess the thing is with the Texans, it's like there's definitely there's a lot that needs to be cleaned up, but also you can just it's very obvious just the toll that the injuries, like the wide receiver core, have really taken to the offense. And when you add that with the just horrible O-line play, you get games like against the Jets where it's like, it's inevitably the floor is going to fall beneath them and you're going to have a game as ugly as that.
I think it might actually be time to, although I will say, for the Texans, this isn't that bad because they're well ahead of schedule on a rebuild. So, building up draft capital like this and maybe getting rid of some of their excess goods and trying to see what they got in some of their other guys like Xavier Hutchinson and John Mechie, it might be good.
I mean, the thing with the Texans, I feel like it's more just a frustrating bump in the road right now. This is what it really feels like. It's a frustrating bump in the road that you just cannot get over right now, and it's really annoying when, especially when you see how ugly of a game, last night was for them. It's like, it's not like it's definitely a lot better than like other team situations, but it's still like, as I said, like it's a bump in the road that's going to be a pain in the ass to get over. And I will note this with the Texans and the Jets. This is also, I do wonder if the Jets defense was very prepared against the Texans, seeing how the previous season, last year in 2023, the Texans and the Jets faced off that year, and the Texans, like yesterday, had a really bad time against the Jets.
Oh snap! I just realized that Irv Smith Jr. is on your guys' practice squad.
Note has another note I just learned. Left guard Kenyon Green, who's been one of the worst offensive linemen in the entire league this year. He might be out for the season. He suffered a shoulder injury.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I just looked up. I looked up Kenyon Green. Oh Lord, yeah, that is Yeah, I looked at the overall blocking grade. It is yikes. That is a yikes.
Sorry, I'm just seeing all these old names from yesteryear on their practice squad. Guys like Rashad Weaver and Desmond King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Desmond King. But yeah, I feel like if any O linemen end up getting traded at the deadline, I feel like, especially with how the Texans O line has looked, I feel like the Texans will be a team rumored to be looking at some of these O linemen that could be available. Like they'd probably have to be looking at one of them at least.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know. I still think the Texans are in a place to succeed still. CJ Stroud's not hurt, and granted they don't have the weapons, but we saw that even with we saw that with Mahomes, you don't really need weapons to win the postseason. You just got to be better.
They just got to
And
adjust from this. And
And I
also,
think they honestly have the tight end talent to start running a lot more two tight end sets, so they could run more play action bootlegs.
they have a Taegan on his team. How could they not run two side end sets? Fake it the Schultz, throw it to Taegan for a touchdown.
You'd want that, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. We don't get that much representation in sports, man. Even if it isn't spelled the way my name is spelled, I'll take what I can get.
How you just dox yourself as tight end for the Texans.
Oh, dang it.
I love Taegan Tortellini.
Tortellini, wild.
Oh,
Anyway.
man.
Should we pass the pain stick on then?
Yes, since you've spoken first, you get to.
Oh boy, the Vikings. Oh boy, they had a 5-0 start. Yay! Then they proceeded to lose 2 games in 5 days. Boo. And Sam Darnold kind of came back down to earth because it's not Sam Timber anymore. But honestly, as much as it feels like a typical Vikings season, I still feel like I got to keep my head up. Just if somebody doesn't think this team is different and stays a bit optimistic, really, who will? It feels like if I don't say something nice, friggin' Sven Olsen from Albert Lee, Minnesota will be just like, oh, there goes the typical Vikings again. Always on their losing ways. Just they'll never win the Super Bowl. So it's like, shut the fuck up, Sven.
True. I think the Vikings are definitely getting to the point where they're not Super Bowl contenders this year. I feel like that's really fair to say, especially after what Detroit has shown so far.
Right.
I think they are playoff. I do think they are playoff disruptors, though. I think they'll purposely be there just to make everyone else miserable, and that's what you want for a young upstarting franchise with a rookie quarterback, who, granted, isn't playing.
Yeah, that's a crazy thing. We're still we're this good, and we're still not starting our rookie. That's how good our random journeyman Sam Darnold is doing, which I'm pretty sure with how he's performing, we're going to get a pretty high compensatory pick out of him. And
Yeah.
Speaking of picks, we just got ourselves a decent buy low candidate for offensive tackle because Christian Darrisaw is out for the season. We traded a fourth in 2026 for Jaguars left tackle Cam Robinson, which I'm not sure how qualified you are to tell me about this, but Noah, team has gone against the Jaguars before. Can you tell me anything about Cam Robinson?
Oh, well, there goes Noah. I'll fill in while he's gone. As someone that's, oh, my bad. What are your thoughts on Cam Robinson?
Cam Robinson. Let me take a look real quick. Oh dear. Apparently he refused to play for Jacksonville on Sunday.
Wow.
Well, now he's with Minnesota.
Take a look at the Daily Norseman. That's where I got the source. He reportedly refused to play for Jacksonville on Sunday.
But
So
Robinson
that's
is-
why they that's why they trade him off. Sorry, I don't mean to keep on interrupting everyone. It's just slight mumblings.
All right, but his pass block grade is 72.2, which is 43rd. His run block grade is 52nd, which is 52nd of 122. And his overall grade is 69.4, which on
Nice.
top of that being very nice, is top 40 among all tackles. He could probably be a huge need.
So yeah, I think he's a very big get for a Vikings team that is reeling from the loss of one of their stalwart left tackles. You know, I can say as somebody who's seen Christian Darrisaw, like, he's been putting in the work. Like, he's been absolutely pancaking motherfuckers. Ever since he got into this league, and I apologize for not recognizing him for what he was when we drafted him. I was a little upset we passed on Elijah Vera Tucker, and yeah. But hey, Cam Robinson, pretty cool. Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could really use that change of scenery. I mean, if he's been doing like fine enough in Jacksonville, then I think doing going to Minnesota. Hey, that could really help him if he was very frustrated with the Jaguars, which probably not the only player that's frustrated playing in Jacksonville. I wouldn't blame anyone on the Jaguars team if they would also want out.
And I know this might be a bit egotistical for me to say, but I think Kevin O'Connell is a better offensive mind than Doug Peterson.
That's not egotistical. That's just
Yeah,
factual information.
Yeah, that's in the year 2024. That is facts.
I'm just not used to us being considered like upper crust of the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's time to get used to. Um. Anyways. Okay, you know what? Anyways, Taegan, is it time to just rip the damn Band-Aid off? Is it just time?
I'm miserable. I've been
It's
delaying
time
the
for the-
inevitable.
It's time for the inevitable Untitled Bears project.
Get your popcorns out, mate. It's going to be good.
I'm not even upset that we lost. I've been very vocal about that. I'm more upset on the way that we lost. Like, I'm fine getting it outdueled by the Commanders. I am not fine losing to a freaking Hail Mary. And it's just like, it feels like only the Bears could do that. And we can whine about Tyreek Stevenson doing all that or everything, but it comes down to the fact that you don't put your team into that situation. You play press coverage when there's still 6 seconds on the clock and they need to get those 15 yards to even have an attempt at a Hail Mary.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be completely honest. Since I haven't really said anything much else since the plays happened. I mean, it's just you don't give up plays like that. I know people will argue, yeah, there was a holding on that, but you know what? It's a Hail Mary. They don't call penalties on Hail Marys. That's just the way it goes. But I feel like the thing that pissed me the most off, looking back at the Hail Mary, what pisses me the most off that isn't, Tyreek Stevenson deciding to be a fucking idiot, was probably the fact that, the Bears, like, I feel like that's a situation where, like, before Hail Mary, unless they're, like, rushing up to get to the line to, like, get this ball off, like, they're rushing to get a Hail Mary off, I feel like you would always like to call a timeout beforehand just to, like, basically, like, instead of, like, icing the kicker for a field goal, you basically ice the quarterback for a Hail Mary attempt. And I feel like that would have been wise to do. that is me saying that with the context of a head coach having 1 timeout to work with. In this scenario, the Bears had 3 timeouts to work with, and we didn't use any of them. That was that
You
was
don't get
yikes.
it, bro. He's saving them for the next game.
Yeah, it's like, it's like okay, if there's 1 timeout left, okay, you know what, it is what it is. But it's like, come on, like, we had 3 timeouts. Like, use one of them. Like, use one of them to ice Jaden Daniels, ice the Commanders' offense, and get some guys. Hey, if anyone feels a little uncertain of what to do, well, now you know what you need to do in that situation. And it's just, it was quite annoying knowing that happened right before that. It's also not made any better by the reports that have come out since that, seems like Caleb Williams was more focused on what was happening with that than Eberflus was, which is that's a bad look right there for Flus. Pretty bad look when your quarterback is like, hey, I think we might need to call a timeout here, and you don't do that, so that's not what you want to see. Not what you want to see at all.
You don't get it, bro. He grew a beard. So that means he's got to be a good coach now. He's got aura.
Listen, I have a beard as well, and you want to know something? You know who else has aura? Mike McDaniels, and look how he's doing with the Dolphins right now. So let's get the aura talk out of the way. But going back to this with the whole Bears Commanders thing, it's very reminiscent of the 2013 Bengals-Ravens game where, I want to believe, it was AJ Green who caught a Hail Mary to tie the game in regulation on a tipped ball. And, tips are the biggest enemy when it comes to a Hail Mary. They are the biggest enemy to a defense on a Hail Mary. And, whenever you see a ball coming towards you, you have to bat it down. And granted, I'm sure there was the thought of, hey, we should bat this down. Unfortunately, the football had a mind of its own, and when they tried to bat it down, it did not do that, and it tipped perfectly right into the hands of
Noah Brown.
Noah Brown, yes, Noah Brown. I knew his name was Noah. Just wanted to make sure his last name was correct. Yes, Noah Brown, right into his hands, perfectly safe and sound, and right after that, you just had a flabbergasted reaction of, what the fuck, how does that happen, and why? Because I feel like that if there was ever a team that before the Bears doing that would be able to do something like that, it would be the Detroit Lions before Dan Campbell. And that is only being said because Aaron Rodgers go burr. However, to talk about the game in general, I mean, as Taegan noted, losing to the Commanders is not bad. Losing to the Commanders on a Hail Mary is pretty bad. It's something you never want to see if you're a Bears fan. However, you can definitely argue, and yes, I know we can say the Commanders didn't play their greatest game, which they didn't, but the Bears themselves played far from their best game. Granted, the defense did everything they needed to do until that Hail Mary. They did everything they needed to do to give the offense a chance to go out there and do what they need to do, and for 3 quarters, the offense decided, nah, we don't really feel like it. And granted, that would start to show up in the 4th quarter where the offense finally woke up thanks to DeAndre Swift having a big run, and, Caleb finally starting to find something in the 4th quarter. Granted, we should have had more than 2 touchdowns in that 4th quarter if we decided to, not get cute down inside the 3, not get cute near the 1-yard line. That would have been very nice. I understand that big guys scoring touchdowns are very fun. I love that, but when you have someone like, Roshan Johnson on your roster, just have Kramer do the blocking and have Johnson take it in for the touchdown. That play has worked so many times this season. Just do the automatic stuff, and we wouldn't be having to drive down the field on our last drive to try and get a game-leading touchdown that would not matter in the end because the Commanders got a Hail Mary. So
It feels like this team is just focused on being a gimmick.
And here's the thing. I wouldn't hate the idea of doing like a fullback dive, but here's the thing, Shane. Why did you get rid of Kari Blasingame then?
I'll tell you why.
Kari?
Because they wanted to have Doug Kramer at there because they want to have another position so they can keep another lineman, because the Bears have been pretty thin at linemen. So their thought process is, oh, we'll get rid of Kari because he totally won't be an impact at all. The issue is Kari is like what's his name? He's like Mercedes Lewis. He's just a good blocker and he can get you lanes to run through. But it's just Shane Waldron doesn't like using typical fullbacks, so he got a gimmick fullback, and he's getting the repercussions of it, and it's super annoying.
Here's my thing. Kramer's done good at blocking in the fullback position. He has. He's done good when he has to block for Roshan. The problem is, there's a difference between blocking for Roshan and, taking the football and trying to get into the end zone, and, when you're a lineman trying to get the football. It's not the easiest scenario in the world when you never do things like that. So when something goes wrong like that, it's like, well, that's the risk you take with that. That's the clownery you take by making a play call like that. And the thing is, if the Bears had gotten that touchdown and let's say they stop Washington, Caleb goes down the field and has that same touchdown that he had to give the Bears the lead late, then hey, even if Washington gets that Hail Mary, it's instead of like, a game-winning touchdown, now it's instead like, well, you know what, that's a cool play, but it doesn't matter because the Bears had 3 touchdowns late in the game. It wouldn't matter in that scenario. However, that's just a what if. Unfortunately, we are in reality, and the reality is the Bears didn't do that, and the Commanders took advantage of that.
I mean, the thing that you wonder why Seahawks fans just hated Shane Waldron for such a long time. It's because of nonsense like this, right? Like, you think he would learn from now is that when you try to be cute, you do this cute shit, it doesn't work, right? Like, I think he's good at establishing like a good pass first mindset for a team. I think he's great at that. But like, he's never been able to figure out a run. He's always done dumb stuff on like a draw play, a shotgun draw play on 4th and 1. Really? You really outthought us there, man. And I'm just surprised that, the way that I see this game came down to was a coaching diff. Big time. Right? This was the game. This was like, how they have tests where teachers usually put questions on there where that separate like the B's from the C's and the B's from the A's and so on and so forth. That was this game. That was this game. And I know I said it last year that I think they should move on from the coach. And I feel like that conversation is going to be revisited again. Because
here's the thing though with Eberflus, if you do that, you get into the cycle that they've been doing.
Exactly.
You drafted I feel like you have to keep Eberflus if you're going with that ideology.
You do.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. I would understand that because yes, you don't want to do it. You don't want to go through the same cycle that you went with, Fox, Nagy, and of course Eberflus. You don't want to go with that same cycle with your quarterback. The problem is, the thing for Matt that isn't bad is I don't think the loss, as heartbreaking as it was, is that big of like an impact on his coaching status. I don't think it's that. That is far from a big impact on his coaching status. What's a big impact on, hey, should this guy be coach or not, is what are the players saying after the fact? Because anyone who has paid attention to what Bears players have said after that game can tell you they were not happy about that. They were not happy at all about how that was handled. And there have been very vocal comments from offensive players, Cole Komet's been very open, Caleb's been very open, and of course even defensive players like Kevin Biard, who's been very honest about the fact that, yeah, that was not great. That was not exactly what needed to happen on that final play. And I'm just saying, a loss doesn't kill your career. Losing the locker room kills your career. If, let's say, if Luce was to lose the locker room, that is a much bigger issue than just losing this game in heartbreaking fashion. And that is something to seriously consider, because it is safe to say players were not happy about how the ending of that game was handled, and I'm sure the Bears are aware of it because they have been very, very, very careful at, handling things with the media this week. They have been very careful about that. And
Big time.
I'm just gonna say I can understand why. I can understand why they're being careful about that, but it's something to just consider that, hey, like, if Luce loses the locker room, we're going to be having a big discussion here about what happens next. Especially with the report that came out that, hey, Ben Johnson has a lot of interest in the Bears. That is a fact now.
Could you? I would be shocked if the Bears were to do that purely because you're getting an offensive-minded coach in that building, which is something that they desperately need. And I feel when
they're
you
just cheap. It's more like I don't think they'll overpay him because the Bears are cheap.
Yeah, it's
here's
like-
my thing. Here's my thing, though. Ben Johnson, for as much as we can talk about the Bears being cheap, Ben Johnson has made it very clear he's only going to a job he truly wants, because that's the reason he didn't take the Washington job. He is only going to leave the Lions job, the Lions offensive coordinator job, where the Lions right now are Super Bowl contenders and will remain Super Bowl contenders for the time being. Just, I'm saying if he wants the job, he's going to make it very clear he wants it. And here's the thing, we can talk about the Bears being cheap all we want. If Eberflus loses the locker room, his job security becomes in serious doubt. It absolutely is in doubt if he loses the locker room.
I agree. Also, I do want to just kind of say this real quick. I find it really funny that everyone's saying, "Oh yeah, the Bears, they're just playing inferior opponents, and they've been playing like trash against. I mean, they've been playing good against bad opponents." But then I see
Honestly,
people
the
turn
fact
around
that they
and
beat Washington is proof enough that's not the case at all.
oh,
It really
100%,
was just one major gaffe, because they are a good team.
they are. But it's also like I see a lot of people say, the Commanders are so good because they took down the Bears, and it's like, okay, you can't have it one way you can't have it one way and the other. It's like you either think the Bears are a good team, or you think that they're not good at all, because it's like you can't just go around and say, oh yeah, the Bears are beating against bad teams and they are not that good, and then go around and say, yeah, man, the Commanders really got one out against the Bears, and it's like. No. It's
See,
just so
I'm gonna be
annoying.
real. I'm just gonna be honest.
See, those
like,
people think that the Bears are bad because of inferior opponents. I think you're bad just because you're a division rival and therefore you stink.
Stinky
Fair.
poo-poo.
That is fair. I mean, the thing is, I feel like in terms of applying that standard, I apply that standard to all teams. Right? It's like, listen, NFL teams are going to play bad opponents. Your job is to go out there and beat those bad opponents. And if you do it convincingly, it only adds to your resume. And the Commanders have not only beaten bad opponents, they have beaten them convincingly. And a team like the Bears, yes, they face bad opponents, but you want to know what previous Bears teams have done a lot? They played down to them. When they faced opponents like, the Rams, they got a good win against them. The Panthers and Jaguars, they crushed them. So the Bears have shown that, yeah, they played bad opponents, but they've also beaten them convincingly. And the thing is, I'm gonna transition this into my next point about the Bears right now. I'm wondering if this is gonna be the trend that I've really taken away from these first 7 games, going into our 8th game into the season, seeing that we're on the road in Arizona. I'm just wondering, and this game's going to tell me a lot, I'm just wondering, just offensively, because defensively they've shown they can play anywhere. But offensively, I'm wondering how big of a gap is there between the Bears playing at home and the Bears playing on the road in a, in an opponent's environment. Because I feel like the Bears on the road, they have not put up a good offensive performance this season. And at home, they've really built a lot of momentum week over week, like we saw with the Rams to the Panthers. And yes, I know Jacksonville was in London, and technically the Jaguars are more of, a London team than the Bears are, but at the same time, I'm counting that more as neutral. The thing is, I feel like the Bears kind of have to prove themselves this season as to they can play a strong offensive game at an opponent's venue. They need to do that because I'm just curious if they struggle this week against the Cardinals, a very bad Cardinals defense, by the way. I'm really going to be pushing that narrative more and more.
Think about it this way too, like the Bears travel well. 9 times out of 10, most road games really aren't true road games. They're not in like a very bad environment. They're mostly in a if anything, the fans, it's like 70-30, like 70% home to 30% Bears, which like, yeah, that's a little bit, but like in the NFL, that is really good. Most teams try to get at least 20, and if not 20, at least 15. Hell, teams like the Chargers, they probably can't even get 5% from their home stadium.
Yeah, it's just, I feel like this game against the Cardinals, it's going to be a big test for, obvious reasons. How do the Bears respond after losing in such heartbreaking fashion? How do they, respond from a bad game offensively? You go to a stadium that you played very well in. You've had some iconic games against the Cardinals. One Monday Night Football game in particular that comes to mind. But I feel like this Sunday for the Bears at the Cardinals, it's going to tell me a lot about the Bears going forward and where we are at this season. Because if they win that game, great, excellent bounce back. Love to see it. But if they lose that game, then some of these narratives I have, they're definitely going to feel more and more true.
Well, not only that too, but the season's basically on the line. Like 4-4 teams have like an 18% chance of making the playoffs. If you're 5-3, that goes up to 63.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
it's
be
like,
gonna be a huge test for the Bears.
Yeah, it's
and that's why
also says. Oh, sorry.
what the?
What?
Sorry.
Who
No.
did that?
It was me. I wanted to make a shitty Johnny Test joke.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. Well, I got interrupted as well.
That wasn't
But,
me. I have my hands on my PS5 controller, so I'm not. I wasn't.
Yeah.
No,
It
it's
is a
fine.
damn shame. It also says a lot about the NFC this season, because if the Bears were in the AFC, we wouldn't be having that conversation right now. But because they're in the NFC, and they also play in the NFC North, it's the conversation that needs to be had.
Which is crazy because remember earlier this year, everyone's like, "Yeah, the NFC, you could probably get 10, you could probably get 8 wins and sneak into the playoffs." Now, with just how stacked everyone is, it's like, "Oh God, we might actually have to win 11 games to have a chance." The fact of the matter is, this year there could be an 11-win team that might not make the playoffs, and you want to know how cursed that would be? To win 11 games and still not be enough.
Yeah, that would be.
Happens to many teams. Well, it's rarely happened. I think it's only happened twice in the NFL's history where you win 11 games.
Both times it was the New Orleans Saints.
No, one of them was the Patriots.
Still, just
Yeah. Oh, 2008. Yeah, the 2008 Patriots.
that was the year Brady got hurt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And they still went 11-5.
Well, I mean, it's hard not to when you still got Randy Moss as your main wide receiver.
I don't know. It's just like, My main thing with the Bears right now is it's pretty bleak. You needed to win against the Commanders. I felt that truly to make everything so much easier for you down the road. But now it's sort of like, well, you have to now guaranteed win all of your home divisional games because if you don't, you're looking at probably like 9-8, 8-9, and it's just rough. I
Yeah,
think
it's a gauntlet. It's a gauntlet to have to go through here for the Bears.
I think if anything for the Bears to try and do as much as they can to bolster, you got to use the second round pick from Carolina to get you to something.
that's the thing though. That's not typically Ryan Poles' motto. I think
Ryan
they're
Poles
definitely
used
gonna
your
be.
second round pick to get Sweat. What are you talking about?
Okay, I agree.
It's-
You note that you are correct about that. It's just looking at the deadline right now, I don't really see much where it's like the Bears would have to trade away that second round pick for like, yeah, that would be a great deal for the Bears to make where you give up like where Poles gives up the second round pick from the Panthers to, get someone. It's just I don't see that guy like there was with, Montez Sweat last trade deadline. It's just that's the
I
way
mean, there's Wyatt Teller. He could probably help out the line right now, and he's a really good starting caliber lineman. And Cleveland's probably gonna try to blow everything up this offseason to reload, but it's just the only thing the Bears need is O line. We're fine at edge, despite what most Bears fans think. Our linebacking core is top three. Our secondary, I don't know. I have a lot of faith in it, even though we do have a fair bit of people injured. Like, legitimately, this team just needs a better O line, and they're pretty much set. Because you don't need wide receiver, and you don't need tight end, and you really don't need running back. In fact, it's to the point where I could see the Bears be more of a seller at a deadline than a buyer, because Nate Davis isn't starting. People will try to take him and see if they can work in their system. Khalil Herbert hasn't been used since last year. Some team is going to probably trade for him. And I could even see the Bears possibly fielding offers for Allen, because just he's a guy that if you can somehow get back like a fourth or third round pick with how the wide receiver market is this year, you can you probably make that deal. You traded a fourth, you get back a third for him, and you helped your quarterback develop a bit. I mean, the Bears.
I said this in the off season this year. It always felt like Keenan Allen would be a good trading candidate. Especially since he sort of became excess goods once Odunze came into the fold.
Yeah, and I think the Bears kind of got Allen just in case they didn't get Odunze, but then the Falcons happened, and they were like, "Oh damn! Well, I guess we got to get Odunze now."
Yeah.
I think.
Thanks for that, Michael Penis Jr.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. The Bears are just in a really awkward position where they should kind of buy, but they also should kind of sell. But I do want to just kind of say this a little bit off topic. I have no idea how the trade deadline is going to go this year. Obviously, we've had a ton of trades already because we had like what 5? We've had like 7 or 8 already. 3 of them being wide receivers.
Here's an interesting thing. Both of the trades the Vikings have made this year have involved a player named Cam.
I do
Cam
think.
Akers and Cam Robinson. So you know what that means, folks. Cam Jordan to the Vikings.
Oh God, the Cam agenda is happening. I don't think that'll happen unless the Vikings are really buying into a Super Bowl this year, which I don't know. Could you realistically? If the Vikings want to ruin any future that JJ McCarthy has, I think it's fair. Not that I think it'll be ruined. It's just like I don't think going in with a bunch of third and fourth round picks for your rookie quarterback is that great of an idea.
I mean, to be fair, we also have a shit ton of cap space this upcoming off season, so it's like we can make a lot of splash deals in free agencies for.
And not to mention, I think because you guys sit with all your cap space that you have, you can totally extend Cam Robinson.
Yeah.
That's not out of the question. I don't think you make a move without going, okay, we're going to bring in a guy here who we're not going to even consider as a rental. Because, I mean, I don't think the Vikings are a team that you would want to be renting just at the moment, purely because you've exceeded all expectations that were initially placed on you. You're usually seeing any moves that you're going to make at the deadline is going to be for the future. Even if it's just a small move here and there, you're still going to make the move to, bolster the team in the future. And what's better, like, say, since Cam Robinson costed you a fourth, that's a fourth-round pick, that's a maybe. That's a player that might be used in a year or two. Versus now that you have a veteran guy who's experienced at that position, you can now extend him to a nice deal because you got all that cap space to work with that will help your quarterback versus that fourth-round pick.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just Cam Robinson has only played left tackle for most of his career.
Yeah, but that's still a veteran piece. That's for a fourth round picks or maybes. If it's like a third or a second, I'd be like, you're crazy. I would want to hold on to that. But a fourth round, yeah, that's any day 3 picks or you hope you find a gem.
And it's a day 3 in 2026.
Even better.
Yeah, it's like the way I see it, the last offensive tackle I remember grabbing that late in the draft was a guy by the name of Mike Remmers, and he was garbage. I'm just gonna say it.
Mm-hmm. Usually these late round picks that somehow mold into starters are usually the players that fans complain about the most. They're usually they're great as depth piece. They're good in like backup roles, but like as a starter, man, it is the expectation for them to be like an all-star if you are a starter is insane because that this you know that you're drafting fourth and you're drafting with some sort of upside. And usually most of their upside is fringe starter. And so when you put them as a starting position on a regular basis, and usually these guys are not very good at it, no offense.
Right.
All right, and then
hard thing to do. That's why there's only like 64 people who can be a starting offensive tackle in the world.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to do, so you make a move. Those kinds of moves to help your team. Because remember, you're thinking that you're going to get more value out of Cam Robinson than that fourth-round pick.
Right.
And especially in the NHL, like in other leagues of the NFL, the draft is so valuable in the NFL. So that's why any sort of pick, even if it's a fourth round, it's a value, right? And you compare that to, let's say, it's the NHL, right? Fourth round picks in the NHL have a 21% chance to play one game in the NHL. 21.
Yeah, I consider the Wild very lucky that there were rumors that Kaprizov would never leave Russia because otherwise we would have never gotten him for a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm. And think of it too. Think of it like you go back to the NFL draft. Go back to the Bedard draft, right? Michkov, by the way, point per game player. Imagine if people knew that Michkov was going to come to North America a year after the draft. He would have gone number 2 overall. Like Michkov was supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michkov was supposed to go number 2. But because of, the Russia just because of Russia, right, he went 6th overall, which is still impressive. But yeah, Michkov, point per game player, rookie season, just like Bedard, and those two are going to be fun to watch. But as for the Bears, I mean, they might not have to use their second round pick from Carolina. From what I'm hearing from what Taegan and Nick are both saying, it sounds like it might be a 5th or a 6th that helps bolster your team. And that is a great move to do. If the Bears want to really push for a playoff spot, they absolutely will be making moves. We just don't know how many moves of these are going to happen. Because unfortunately, the NFL trade deadline is nowhere near the levels of the NHL trade deadline. The NHL trade we do streams for this stuff about how the NHL trade deadline, right? We have like dedicated streams where we grade the trades and everything. So,
I mean, just ignore the fact that we did a stream for the NFL trade deadline, but you know.
We did?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I guess we did. I guess there might have been enough moves, or that might have been the first stream. I'm not so
you
sure.
You have to realize, our poor lad over here, he's got too much maple syrup in his brain, and you know that causes him to not remember stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you gotta lay off the moose meat. It's bad for you.
So do we want to pass the pain torch along?
I suppose you haven't, expressed your sorrows about the Seahawks enough.
Yeah, talk about Josh Allen staring at you.
Josh Allen staring at me menacingly is a horrifying sight to behold. Here's the thing. The Seahawks, the 3-0 start was weak opponent. If you want to talk about weak opponent merchants, Seahawks, Bo Nix's first start. I don't want to hear a damn thing about any other team going about the Bears having easy opponents. Are you kidding? Bo Nix's first start. The Patriots. My God, the Patriots. You want to talk about weak opponent merchants? Broncos with a rookie quarterback on his very first start. The Patriots, I don't give a fuck who played third. They're probably weak as well.
Oh, I know who you played. You played the Dolphins without a starting quarterback.
You want to talk, you want to come to me and you go to the Bears and say, oh, look at these weak opponent merchants. I have not heard a damn thing about Seattle. Seattle is quietly 4-4, but they're a very fraudulent 4-4. Frauds 4-4. This team benefited from not playing against we injured the backup. And we had Tim Couch or I don't fucking care.
Tim Boyle, you get the drill. We know it. The Dolphins did not. The Dolphins backups were backups in name only. Let's just call it that.
So then we go on the road to Detroit with the number 1 offense, where the sign was there the first game when we played the game where we played the Detroit Lions, right? The sign was right fucking there. And we all ignored it, where Jared Goff has a perfect game. Did not throw an incompletion against our best corners that we've had since Richard Sherman. Right? Mm-hmm. We all thought we were gonna get visions of the Legion of Boom 2.0. They got bodied by Jared Goff. They made 2 mistakes, critical mistakes, and because of those 2 critical mistakes, this team lost by 2 scores. And essentially that was it. We wrote that off as, you know what, the Lions are a very good team. We'll be just fine. When the sign should have been, oh boy, we are schedule merchants. Fast forward to San Francisco. Right? No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Giants.
The Giants.
I'll quickly note the thing to point out here. I know you mentioned the whole Lions game, but it's okay, you know what? The Lions, as said, the Lions are the Lions. Okay, you're facing the dirt, do what you gotta do. Oh. Gave up 7 sacks. Yikes.
Oh, here comes the game-winning field goal. Oh no! Oh,
Game-tying
no.
field goal, by the way. The fact that, again, Ryan Grube wants to pass the ball when we have a great running back in Kenneth Walker. Why aren't we using Kenneth Walker? We were telling, we need to get this run game going. We need to get this run game going established, right? Because our offense can't pass the ball to DK Metcalf every time. He's good, but we can't be passing the ball to him every time. We can't be stat padding Gino's numbers to make him. He's like, oh, he's number 40. I don't fucking care if he's number 4 in passing. Like, we all know that the quarterback passing yard stat means nothing. We all remember Jameis Winston's 30 for 30 season. He had the most passing yards in that season. Did the Buccaneers make the put? No! And now we go against the Niners and get rolled. Chat, rolled, destroyed, wrecked against San Francisco. I watched that game. That was the day I quit my job at Woodstone. I watched that game. I was in a shitty mood, and that game made me in an even shittier mood. Because what has we been... This is the game where I look at it and I go, well, what the fuck? Nothing's fucking changed. Nothing has changed in Seattle. We still can't run the ball. Sorry, we can't stop the run. Right? This is the Niners, an injury-riddled Niners. This is the Niners team that, for some psychological fucked up reason, we can't beat the Niners when they're even hobbled and injured without CMC. Like, this was the game where we established, Mike McDonald as one of our good coaches. Now, not so sure. I'm not so sure. We destroy the Falcons, like, hey! There we go, a complete team victory. Home against the Bills. And they got their shit kicked into them. I mean, I saw that week, I saw Bears fans were molding. Where the hell are the Seahawks fans? Where are we molding? I saw, there's category, I saw, category 5 meltdown. Seattle, it was just really windy outside. I should be pissed.
Why? You want to know why? It was so windy. Because Portland sucks.
They do. Portland does suck. But I look at this and I go, what the fuck are we doing? I'm trying to stay positive about the Seahawks, but the Seahawks are not a good team. Geno Smith, as much as people want to defend Geno Smith, this week I saw, hey, why don't we trade for Anthony Richardson?
Oh
No.
I saw this week going.
No. Do not even say
I didn't say that. That
Seahawks
was the
trade
fan
for him.
base. That's not me. That was the fan base. I don't want Anthony Richardson. I do not want Anthony Richardson. Let's make that clear.
Hey,
I do not
I'm
want
sure-
him.
I'm sure the Falcons are open to a trade for Michael Penis Jr.
That's just the thing. It's the guy that might start, and there's a lot of guys in the Seahawks organization that do not think he is going to be starting for this team in his tenure in Seattle. Sam Howell will not start. He can't progress through his reads. We all know this. He cannot progress through his reads. The thing that Seattle needs is, we're in that tier of frustrating mid. We're in that frustrating tier where, if this team is not attractive enough, people are going to buy season tickets and then we're going to sell them to opposing fans. Because my golly gee, there's been a lot of opposing fans in our home stadium, which is disgusting. We should not be having these fans come to our stadium. This is our home turf. Home of the 12s? What's happened to this advantage that we used to rely on so much? Now, doesn't happen anymore. The thing that just frustrates me to no avail. We have, DK Metcalf is out. What's their super reliance on? Oh yeah, it's passing the ball without our deep ball threat, and nobody has taken his place. Nobody.
And I was excited to see Jake Bobo take that next step.
He's been quiet. A lot of the Seahawks offense has been quiet, and that's more of where it's I think it was the difference between Pete Carroll and Mike McDonald. It's the changing of the guard where it's, he's a hard worker. We're going to use him in certain situations, but like the guy that you really want to have that next step taken is JSN. He's had one good game this year, and we've been looking at him to really take this next step up. But like this organization right now doesn't have a damn clue of what to do with JSN. There's no clue with him right now, right?
Right.
And I mean, Tariq Woolen, he's better than last year. He's looked a lot better, but he still gets this secondary still gets beat. I don't think they have a strong safety in there. It seems without Murphy, they can't stop the run out of nowhere, right? He's been out with the hamstring. He's probably good to go this week. Our O-line, like John Schneider has said, guards are an overdrafted and overpaid position. My brother in Christ. Remember when we had Russell Wilson's first 2 years, we had one of the top O-lines in the NFL. And then we stopped investing in it. And what has happened? Our O-line has been always rated as bottom 5 in the NFL. Right? Sure, we spent it on guys.
For a stat. There's a stat I remember seeing not too... God, I don't remember.
Are you talking about the Max Unger curse when they traded Max Unger for Jimmy Graham?
No, not that. There was a stat I saw about like O-lines, that was like it was like on like how much teams spend on them, and I'm trying to remember where that is because I know it mentioned the Seahawks in it, but I don't know.
We are under $24 million spent on the O-line.
I'm trying to look for the where's the fucking tweet?
Would it be StatMuse that tweeted that out?
No, it was not StatMuse.
Was it Hawksmania? I think it might have been. Check Hawksmania.
Well, hold on, I'm looking because I know where I posted it. I just need to find. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found the tweet. Okay, so 3 teams have less than $20 million allocated to offensive lines, and those 3 teams right now are the Seahawks, the Patriots, and the Saints. Now, granted, the Saints, I think, because a lot of their O-line is injured, but they're, like, right now, like, that's what it is. And they note the records, like, Seahawks are 4-4, Patriots were, they have 2 wins, Saints have 2 wins. All 3 teams rank 25th or worse in PFF pass blocking grades. And they noted that, the Saints have better run blocking, but the Seahawks and Patriots in run blocking are bottom 3rd.
Yep, and it's been like that every single year. It hasn't changed. It's been like that since we've had Russell Wilson as our quarterback. It's going to change because Charles Cross is our best one. We spent a top 10 pick on. He's been okay. He's been good, but you need more than one O-line. I feel like it is better, but at the same time, it's not much better. And Geno Smith, he's not mobile enough, right? If you had a mobile quarterback that had the this team is built for Russell Wilson still. This offense is still built for Russell Wilson and his creativity in the pocket. Defensive-minded first with a great emphasis on the run game. Right? His team is still built for Russell Wilson, but they don't have Russell Wilson. And it's the thing that is just really frustrating because we need a young quarterback at the helm. We need the new franchise quarterback. Geno Smith is not a franchise quarterback. He is the stopgap. He's a stopgap. There's nothing wrong against Geno Smith. You know, he's able to, you know, he had an all-star appearance, which is congratulations to Geno Smith on that. But Geno Smith is a B- quarterback in my opinion. He is a stopgap guy, right? You can show me the stats all you want, but like the thing is, he's too safe with the football, and he's either safe or throwing the game away. There's no in between with this, right? We have all this talented in the skill positions, and we're not using them, right? And that's just the frustrating thing about the Seahawks. It is they've got their skill positions, in my opinion, on offense are an S. The defense is an AA minus. But you know what, the scheme, you can push this through, right? And I hear guys saying that Mike McDonald's scheme is too advanced for these players, and I'm going, oh my god. And then I'm hearing that from Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman, these guys need a veteran presence. Oh, who did they let walk? Oh, they let Bobby Wagner walk away? Yeah, they let Bobby Wagner walk again, didn't they? Instead of re-signing him, which is who they really needed on this team. They needed a veteran presence. They brought in a guy in free agency who they've traded away. So, I feel like, unfortunately, Mike McDonald might be a 2-year coach at Seattle. Obviously, things could change. The NFL's a week-to-week game. But if John Schneider, he's going to be gone soon. That man is... There needs to be a new era in Seattle, and...
it currently just feels like the old era,
It's...
except they took the parts where it says Russell Wilson, hastily scribbled over it, and just says Geno Smith very crudely written on there.
It's like you're constantly painting your room, and you're painting it in a different shade of color because the lighting doesn't work out with this type of shade of brown. We need a different shade of brown. The lighting here just looks awful. It doesn't bring the room together. It doesn't feel like home. Right? Like, that's what it feels like with Seattle.
Light is spilling into that.
Sorry, I've been watching too many Christian... No, I'm doing like the stereotypical Christian comedian joke here. I've been watching too many Christian comedians.
Oh, see, I thought you were like... bitching about something you were doing with your fiance.
Oh no, no, it's fine. No, we're good. We good. We G. There's nothing to complain about at the moment.
Taegan, are you awake?
Yeah.
He's
Sorry,
just breathing heavily.
I thought I heard you fall asleep. I'm sorry.
No. And then let's go back to, hey, thank God hockey's here. The new coach with oh dear God, it's the same. Nothing's changed in Toronto. John Tavares looks like putrid dog shit. John Tavares is... I'm so annoyed with Jonathan Tavares right now. He can't play hockey. He just can't. He can't. Like, John Tavares is making... You know how I said after the playoffs, they needed to do two things. They needed to move off of Mitch Marner or Jonathan Tavares and fire the coach. They did one of those things. They did not do the other thing. And this team is the same, where you get embarrassed after a surging victory against the Lightning. That's like, you know what? We might be different. Oh no, we get destroyed by Columbus. You know what? Mulligan against the Blues. Craig Berube's former team. Are we gonna do? No, we don't. Versus Boston, where they get outplayed at every single level. They lose in overtime. In an ironic twist of 4-3 against Boston. Right? A high-scoring game against the Jets. The final score was 6-4. The Jets could have tied that game on Monday.
But yeah, kind of... I just wonder, is there a Zamboni driver they could lose to really just totally leaf it up?
Dude, it feels like it, man. I feel like they're like the icing on the cake is losing to an emergency backup goaltender who works for the team. Like,
see if David Ayer is doing anything.
like somebody could employ David Ayers and put him as the emergency backup for your affiliate hockey team, and the Maple Laughs will lose to that too. Nothing has changed, right? Like, I thought Bobby McNabb was going to be a really good bottom six. Dude's been garbage all year long, right? William Nylander, hey, I got no complaints about the guy. I haven't had complaints about William Nylander. Like, I think it's like the second year after his first contract extension, right? I was so mad at William Nylander, but he stepped up. He played better. I've got nothing to say. I've got nothing against Nylander. It's still the same thing with, the first line's doing good, but, like, it could be a whole hell of a lot better, right? I like Matthew Knives. He reminds me a lot of Zach Hyman, guy that gets dirty goals when they allow him to get dirty goals. Like, the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Maple Laughs, they're a bunch of pretty boys on ice. They're a bunch of pretty boys on ice. That's it. They don't like fighting dirty. They don't like that. That's not their style of hockey. Their style's all about the flash and pizzazz and all that kind of nonsense. It's the same script. It's literally like, can't the hockey script, come up with something different? Can the Maple Leafs just get swept in the first round of the playoffs so I don't have to waste my time cheering for them? No, they have to lose in Game 7 to the Boston Bruins in the same painful way as possible. On to the Canucks, another team that is mid. All I gotta say, we all thought Arthur Silos was gonna take the reins, and really, dude, Arthur Silos had some kind of hell of a luminosity run in the playoffs. What some hell of a luminosity run did he have? He's been garbage. He's about to get demoted to the AHL. They still don't have Thatcher Demko back. Thatcher Demko, when is he back? Fuck if I know.
He'll be back when GTA 6 comes out.
Yeah, I don't know what... we do know, because, we do know that he re-ruptured his injury training back to get healthy. It was a very, really rare muscle injury that he had to wait... that he's basically waiting to recover from now. But thank God for the other guy we got. I don't remember his name at the moment.
JT Builder?
No, not goalie. He played for Nashville. I think he was their backup.
My mind wants to say Saros?
No, Saros is a starter.
Oh.
I'm blanking on his name.
That's why you don't trust my mind. Okay.
Luke, you're playing NHL. You should be able to quick look. I randomized the entire roster, you assholes.
Why'd you say it like you were introducing a Mr. Beast video?
Kevin Lankinen. Thank God for Kevin Lankinen. Gonna be completely honest. Thank God for Kevin Lankinen, because if it wasn't for Kevin Lankinen, the Canucks would be where they were last year. Painfully frustrating. We still are seeing painfully frustrating things with Philip Hronek, who's been meh when we traded a first-round pick for him. We've had higher expectations. Elias Pettersson is a whiny bitch. Straight up.
I'm sorry, the timing on that echo from Taegan was perfect. You said he was a bitch, and then it caught it Taegan, and so it was just, he was a bitch.
Man, here's the thing. I don't think the echo's picking up on my end. That's weird. I don't know. Could be some setting in Discord that effective. But yeah, Pettersson, there was a scrimmage, a little fight between Pettersson and JT Miller. Why is it that JT Miller is trying to push Pettersson to step up, but it's not the coach who, once again has called out the team for being soft and weak for the umpteenth time in a row. It seems like Pedersen has completely disappeared from the map ever since he got paid. Which... he hasn't been the same since last year before March. Like, he's hasn't put it together. Like, there's guys that have done great. GT Miller. Dude's been amazing. Right? Connor Garland's been awesome. Brock Besser, I got nothing against Brock Besser. Brock Besser's been great. Daniel Sprong and Kiefer Sherwood have been awesome. Like Quinn Hughes is still Quinn Hughes. Tyler Myers has played his 1,000th game in the NHL. That was a nice moment that I saw on Saturday. But again, this team is painfully mid. Again. Another team that's just painfully mid. And let's get to the Kraken. Another team that is, you guessed it, mid. But scores a lot of goals now.
My guess would have been applesauce.
That's close enough. But they're not up for the Kraken. They do have the first female assistant coach in the NHL, and I have no complaints. She's done very good. This team scores a lot more now. I'm still waiting for more of an emergence of Shane Wright and Matty Beniers. Like, those are the kind of the guys I've been wanting to see, like, really blossom. They haven't, but Jordan Eberle has been great. You have Jared McCann, who's been awesome this year. You know, goalies, goaltending, you know, they're still trying to get, 3-pass Grubauer to work. When Grubauer's just, he's a fringe starting goaltender, and Joy Decord is...
One might call him despicable.
Joy Decord's a better fringe... No, Joy Decord's Joy Decord's good. He's good enough to get, like, a starting goaltender, but, like, he hasn't... Like fully taken the starting job yet. He's only partially taken the starting job, and they're gonna try and like split the starts between the two. When I'm still waiting for Joey Decord just to completely take over as the starter. You know, I'm still waiting for that. So, it's a little upsetting. Like, there's some games where Seattle's going to pour on, like what the game against they had Montreal. That was I had so much fun watching that game. It's fun seeing, 8-2 beatdowns against the Montreal Canadiens, and then they get destroyed in Toronto.
I mean, for a while there, you were our only overtime loss for Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the thing. Yeah, the Kraken are, mediocre, but they're not just the kind of mediocre where you can just write them off like taxes. No, they're the kind of mediocre where they'll lure you in with hey, check out what we just did, and then they'll just and then they'll just fall back into the pit of just being just oh, this is a lot like going out to Boston Pizza.
Terrible service, and the food is overpriced and tastes But you know what? It's like date nights, right?
Yeah.
You pick some random place, but then when you actually explore outside your city, you actually have a good time. You know? I'm still... it also could be true. It's also to note that Vince Dunn is out with an injury, and the Kraken without Vince Dunn are not the same with having Vince Dunn on that team. So it's kind of like the deal breaker. But at the end of the day, I'm still waiting for Shane Wright and Matty Beniers to really blossom into the role. Jessica Campbell, I think she's done a lot better job, and especially with Dan Bilesma too, they're making a strong emphasis on really scoring, putting pucks to the net and scoring goals. That message has been received, but they got to get a really good goaltender, and they got to get Beniers, and they got to figure out, they got to know if they are going to go all in with the cord, because that's a key piece for Seattle right now. You got to figure out if you're going to go all in with Joey Decord, or are you going to, still do this platoon? This platoon is not really working to their advantage. And can Beniers and Wright step up? They need to step up. Those are our 2 top 5 draft picks. We've had that amazing season from Beniers, and we just haven't been able to see any of that form in a while. So that's been the thing that I have with the Kraken, which is just they're painfully mid, and I just want one of my teams to not be painfully mid. But here,
Wish granted.
Hold on. For his, I will say regarding Groove, for as bad as he's still been a bit better than another goaltender that's currently associated with the Avalanche, or like has connections with the Avalanche.
the Avalanche is, it's like it's almost like you can forgive the Avalanche though. You can forgive the Avalanche because the Avalanche, they don't have a top 9. It's the top 3 with Cale Makar. That's it. Like it's
Who is their goalie?
oh yeah, they don't have a goaltending too, so their goaltending has been it's been a problem. But like the thing.
Oh my God, Capo Kakinen?
Oh good lord.
Oh my God, him and it looks like Justice Ananen and Alexander Georgiev.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I was
Georgiev.
almost
They've
worried
all been bad. They have like all been just terrible. But like my thing though with the Avs though, if they just gotta survive. Their mission is just if they can just be a 5, like just for points percentage wise, like if you're 500 with the Colorado Avalanche, just be 500, and then everybody's back healthy in January. You surge, you can still make a great playoff push then.
Wow, they really have somebody on this roster named Ivan.
That's a great name. That's a great fucking name that they have.
It's like Mario and Luigi Mario.
Mm-hmm. It's a perfect name though.
It is. It really is.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the greatest hockey names of all time, Ivan. It's a perfect, like, again, the Avalanche have all these injuries, but they're like, you know what? If we survive, we just have to survive until January. Realistically, because like, if you had 6 of your top 9 out for the season, it's over. Like you're gonna wave the white flag around. You're going to sell any veteran depth piece for like a 4th and a 3rd. You're gonna get something. You're gonna get like picks in the offseason and then try to like invest heavily in a starting goaltender. Shame that the Nashville Predators made the playoffs and like, you know what? We're just gonna go with Yusei Saros because I could have seen Yusei Saros go to the Avalanche, but you know the Avalanche are there like, you know what? We're living in hell, but you know what? It's okay. A, we have a Stanley Cup, and 2, most of our players are out until they're gonna be back by sometime in December. And by January, everybody's going to be back and healthy. And we just have to have a point percentage of 50 and we'll be just fine.
I don't know. I could very easily see this being the year where they finally regress back into being the Avalanche.
No, Cale Makar is
I don't
really
see that.
good.
Not with Makar.
Cale
Not with
Makar,
Makar, but also it is just funny though knowing that like I just look at the Avalanche and it's like, okay, what are the chances they have given up 4 or more goals in this game?
Well, I mean, considering they got the Wild sloppy seconds as one of their goalies.
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of
I
people's
figure-
sloppy seconds.
I figure me and Spencer will talk about our teams and we'll go back to football before games that need to get done.
I think we should be getting close to wrapping up. It's almost
Yeah.
1 a.m. where I am.
I got one more
Yeah.
team to complain about being mid. And I think everybody knows who it is. The Mariners are mid. And we're about to, thank God we cut Polanco. Like, Polanco's got declined his option. Justin Turner and Yami Gayara have elected for free agency. And some other kid got third baseman, played for Boston last year. I don't give a shit who he is. He got DFA'd and then elected for free agency. So there's that. Mariners still have unfortunately Mitch Haniger and Mitch Carver, who both have $29 million in total for their contract worth, and they're still going to be on this team where that's $29 million that could be redirected elsewhere. Like, they know what their options are, but missing the playoffs and the fact that, you know, the Walking Dead of the Houston Astros are still better than Seattle makes me sad every single day.
And the Rangers will probably be back next season, though, now that a lot of their players are about to be healthy.
Yep.
Because they still got the Grom lurking.
My only prayer is that Cole Young is ready. That is the only prayer that I have, is that they're going to go, that the organization looks at Cole Young and they're ready. But from what I've heard from beat writers in Seattle, he's probably going to spend the entire year in AAA next year. Which is just, oh, cool. Well, how are they going to view a guy like Colt Emerson then, right? Colt Emerson is having a very great campaign to end off last year. He's going to be in Double A next year. Easily. He's doing really good in the Arizona Fall League. He really raked in at the end of High A last year. Same thing with Lorenzo Montoyas. I feel like you have to tell this fan base for Seattle, you're probably not going to be it next year, right? Because you're not going to sign someone in free agency. It's just not logical to sign somebody in free agency that is playing second or shortstop to a long-term deal when you're going to have Cole Young and Colt Emerson both ready in about a year. And so the hopeful move that I hope this franchise makes is that they do everything in their power to sign Peter Alonso and trade for a third baseman. That restores faith in humanity. There's also the endless quest of who are we going to have play at second base? The answer, I hope, is Ryan Bliss. I pray that it is Ryan Bliss, and we do a platoon of Brian Bliss and Josh Rojas. And I hope we have a full-time third baseman and first baseman, because then I'm fine. Then I'm like, you know what? We're going to be a much better hitting core than last year. Garver is not the end of the world of having him as a backup back catcher, and only that. And statistically, Mitch Haniger is much better as a DH. His hitting was a lot better as a DH than when he had to play in a position. So having Mitch Haniger as a DH is not the end of the world. But it's going to be, what is Seattle's management ownership group willing to do? It all rests on them. Because if Seattle chooses to sit with their thumbs up their ass and not do everything in their power to get a guy like Peter Alonso, and you send away, and again, they have expressed that they want to stick with the starting pitchers that they have, which, hey, is good. I think there's other pieces that if you do you sign in free agency that allow them to move off of. Like if they get Peter Alonso, hey, you can move off of Tyler Locklear. And I think you can toss in Harry Ford in a starting pitcher and get a really good third baseman. I think you can do really good with that. Or it's this franchise ownership group decides to not do anything, and because they don't do anything, we are stuck with, the 54 winning percentage, the curse of 54, and trying to get away from it, like they do every single year. I dread this offseason because, they're not going to send money to the moon. But what really helps the fans is if they sign Gilbert Kirby and Big Dumper Calrelli, 2 long-term deals. You sign them to long-term deals, it shuts everybody up. Like, those are the your next guys that you should be paying. And you still have 2 years of control left, but doesn't it just make it easier if you just sign them to long-term deals? And doesn't that just get the fan base going, hey, we've brought these guys in, we've drafted and developed them, let's make them the true future pieces of this franchise? That gets everybody winning and cheering. But if they don't, it's going to be, oh, here's ownership choosing, money, and then we're going to cry poor as the teams who chosen to spend more money and invest into their core. Like, again, the Rangers, sure, they're all injured. They were all injured to all hell and back, but once everybody is healthy, right, your window of opportunity is just it's going to be there because of Julio, but you're going to need Julio to play like a god for the Mariners to do anything when it comes to making the playoffs again. And do we want... The fans don't want to wait 21 years for a playoff, to make the playoffs again, to host a playoff game, right? We don't want to wait 21 years. They want it now. They have waited long enough, and I just don't know if the fan base wants to wait another year. When the answer is, wait another year, wait for Cole Young and Colt Emerson. You'll have Lorenzo Montoyas too. You'll have Michael Arriaro, who I'm really high on as well. You will still have your great pitching rotation. You still have young pitching that is almost ready to go. It's, does this fan base have the patience to wait a year, or do they want it now? I see. That's where the pain section is at.
All right. You want to go? You know what, Nickman? You go first, talking about the Knights, I guess.
Okay. Well, it's been... The Knights have always had the trend of starting off the season well. And yeah, that has continued this season. The top line in particular of Barbashev, Eichel, and Stone have been doing great. They have been doing excellent together, and they've been propelling this team to many goals and many points. Stone in particular, in just 11 games this season, has 19 points. Eichel with 16. So they are really going off to start the season. And right now, Ivan Barbashev leads the team in goals at 7. So top line is doing great things. Defense for the most part has looked good. Some guys like Dorofeev are starting to develop, and I don't know, what's interesting about Vegas is that it feels like more guys, granted, could also just be start of the season kind of stuff, where guys are finding their footing, and there's a lot more opportunities for this to happen, but a lot of other guys that usually don't score goals for the Golden Knights have been scoring more goals this season. Like Brett Howden's been scoring more goals. Keegan Kolesar's been scoring more goals. And these are third and fourth line guys. And Victor Olofsson, for the 4 games he played, he was doing pretty well. And hopefully 4 games he played. He was doing pretty well, and hopefully he gets healthy. Hopefully he can come back real soon. The Golden Knights so far, they've looked very good. They've done their usual early season stuff. The power play is looking very good to start the season, which is something that's rarely been said. Rarely has been said for the Golden Knights. That's something that's very welcoming to see, and as much as I love Marchessault, I think, not having him on the power play and having a lot more passing with guys like Eichel and Hurdle is really paying off. Goaltending so far, Samsonov's looked fine. He's looked fine so far. He's looked fine as goalie. He did have a rough game against the Canes, but that was honestly the really only bad game he's had to start the year. It was looked shaky so far. He's definitely off to a slow start. Hopefully he picks things up real soon, but the Golden Knights, for the most part, they're doing everything they need to do. I guess the only thing I could comment is home games have been great for us to start the year. We are 7-0 at home to start the season. Away games are still a work in progress. We have 1 point in our 4 road games. That's something that's gonna be worked on, I'm sure, pretty soon. So, Golden Knights, not much else to say. it's usual early season stuff from Golden Knights. They're looking good, stuff that needs to be worked on. But hey, I trust the Golden Knights to get that done.
Yeah, and all right. As for Minnesota, great googly moogly. The Minnesota Wild are getting off to a really hot start that not many people are talking about. Probably because of Winnipeg's also hot start, kind of overshadowing what Minnesota's doing. But it seems like the Wild are playing like white hot hockey. You know, and this is despite them, still hugging the salary cap with the whole Parisian suitor thing.
You'll be free of it this offseason. Well,
Oh yeah,
vast
for sure.
majority.
And though I will say we did have a very impressive win tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning. We beat them 5-3. Kaprizov was perfect with shots on goal, 2 shots, 2 goals. That man is a freak, and I am thankful every day that he chose to come to Minnesota, instead of staying in Russia. Thank you, Kirill, the thrill.
I mean, the only thing I can say as a hockey fan, the shitty thing about like the Russian-Ukrainian invasion, Russia won't be a participant in in any sort of hockey championships, which is a sin on its own as a fan, because those like Russia-US, Russia-Canada hockey games are really damn good. And I mean damn good.
But yeah, even our smaller guys have been stepping up. Like Matthew Boldy got a goal tonight. Brock Faber, obviously. But even guys like Jared Spurgeon and Zach Bogosian were getting shots on goal, which I think that's pretty cool. Obviously love to see some of those, bottom sixers try to go for it. And I really like what I really like that this is with the head coach that everybody wrote off last year.
I hope he didn't write back. Yucca yucca.
Shut the fuck up. It's 1 in the goddamn morning outside.
Oh, come on. Come on. You set that right up for me. It's not like I'm not going to say something insanely stupid. We need to have a quota for that. And we haven't met a quota for stupid shit yet.
It's more that you said yucca yucca.
See my point exactly.
Anyway, I think we should be wrapping up pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, I agree with everybody's least favorite segment, Pick'ems!
Do we have to?
Yes, I have all 6 of you here.
Yeah, I guess so.
I have all 6 of you. I have all 6 of you here. All right. First game, Ohio State versus Penn State, a top 5 showdown in Happy Valley. Ohio State's second road top 5 game.
Can I root for the meteor here? I'd really like to see a giant meteor hit State College.
Well, I mean, it's a good college game. I don't want this is the one, like, if it's like a top 5 matchup, if it's not even my team, I do not want it. I tell the nuke to fuck off, because
Here's a stat I do. Hey, here's a stat I do just want to bring up real quickly. Ryan Day hasn't beaten a top 5 opponent since 2022. He's lost 4 straight. James Franklin hasn't beaten a top 5 opponent since the last time he beat Ohio State, and he's lost 10 straight. So there's a streak there's a battle going on here between 2 coaches that could really use this win right here.
Yeah.
Ryan Day and James Franklin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Penn State on this because one, they're just they've just been too strong with the bullshit, and 2, Matt Day looks like a Ryan Patricia in an Ozempic commercial.
That's fucked up. Alright, I'll take Ohio State. Taegan, who are you gonna take?
I mean this with no disrespect at all. I literally went to drink a glass of water, brush my teeth, and by the time I got back here, you guys were still talking about hockey. I wanted to die. Anywho, I also wish I could. Choose the nuclear warhead. But my hatred for Penn State is stronger than my hatred for Ohio State. So give me the Buckeyes. But I know they're gonna lose.
All right, Nick, who are you gonna take? Penn State or Ohio State?
Well, I bet against the bullshit last week, and unfortunately, it did not end well. So, I feel like Ohio State has owned Penn State, but there's just something about Penn State has just found ways to get the job done this season that I feel like other seasons they would have failed to do so. And Ohio State has also looked very mortal. Last week in particular, they were really struggling against Nebraska, who was coming off getting absolutely nuked by Indiana. So if there's any year for it to happen, it has to be this one. I'm going Penn State.
All right, Juggerbear, Penn State or Ohio State?
I hate Penn State, but I'm gonna pick him anyway.
And Noah, who are you taking, Penn State or Ohio State?
So this is the game. This is the game. This is more personal for me than most because I am the Penn State fan. I have rooted for this team for 8 years now, ever since 2017, the collapse of Columbus, that started this whole trend in the first place. Facing these guys, no matter how good Penn State has been absolute hell because they just can't figure this out. This is an incredibly resilient team, and they have been all year. But of course, even then, there's a caveat, and that is in Drew Aller, who got hurt in the Wisconsin game. I believe he is going to start, but it's going to be a game-time decision. Logically, I do think Penn State has a chance. They have always kept it close with Ohio State year after year after year, even in their worst years, but they've never been able to get over the hump. But honestly, I just still have my doubts that they're finally going to be able to do it. And I honestly do think Ohio State's going to end this miracle run for Penn State. If Tom Allen's defense can hold the fort, then maybe we've got a shot. If Drew Aller or Bruce Pravilla can play the games of their lives, then they do have a shot. But that's the thing. Penn State just has not played a complete game against Ohio State. If the offense is great, the defense has been terrible. If the defense has been excellent like last year, the offense has been able to do nothing at all. Penn State's first half struggles are still extremely notable, and I am concerned about how many times they're going to be able to get away with that, even for as good as their second halves have been. So I'm going to have to say Ohio State by 3.
Ooh! Split down the middle!
I want to be wrong, don't get me wrong. But I have a high respect for Ohio State, as much as I don't know.
Alright.
I just think they are the better team.
Alright, we got another top game with massive playoff implications as well. Pitt versus wait, Pitt? Undefeated?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All hail the Pitt meme.
All hail Pitt. I'm taking Pitt over SMU.
Pitt all the way. Over. Just hammer the over.
SMU is extremely funny, man. I never thought I'd see a team commit 6 turnovers and win.
SMU is very funny. They are a very funny team for sure. And not to mention, they again, really good jump from them jumping from the American Conference. to ACC?
AAC.
AAC, yeah, the
AAC,
All-American
ACC.
Conference. So yeah, so they took an A and replaced it with the C. So it's really still impressive jumping from a G5 to a P4. Really good by SMU, but I'm gonna take Pitt. I'm gonna take.
I just find it funny how this feels like this is truly the perfect time for this game to happen, because SMU pulled off one of the funniest victories you'll ever see, winning that game against Duke with 6 turnovers, while now facing a Pittsburgh team that is coming off a game where they made Kyle McCord see ghost, just repeatedly see ghost during that game. But
Damn, so much for the IOU from Sean Day, I guess.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pitt.
I took the Pittsburgh Panthers, and I put the rest of my answers in the group chat. It is getting very late, and I'm getting very grumpy, and I need to go to bed now.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. We have. Hold on. Let me quickly copy, paste his picks. Paste. There you go. Taegan, who are you gonna take?
Give me Pitt.
Pitt. Noah, who are you gonna take?
Pitt.
Pitt. Ah, shit. If Adain takes Pitt, we've just cursed Pitt. Uh-oh. Alright, and in the Sickos Committee Game of the Week, Northwestern and Purdue. A game where someone has to win. Well, somebody has to win this game. I'm going to take
Either Purdue loses or Ryan Walters keeps his job. Either way, the Boilermakers lose.
Yep.
That's true. And you know what? I think they lose by... This feels like... God, I don't know. Oh my god, this feels like a game they're going to win. I don't know why, but this just feels like a game Purdue's going to find a way to fucking win finally. I'm giving Purdue. Why not?
Purdue. Alright. Taegan!
Northwestern.
Northwestern. Alright. Juggerbear, who are you taking?
Hang on, who are the teams?
Northwestern and Purdue. I hope this game is low scoring.
I expect it will be.
Honestly, I'm just going Northwestern on this one.
Northwestern? Alright.
Northwestern for me, too.
Northwestern, alright. First round of the CFL playoffs. Toronto versus Ottawa. I will take Ottawa.
Toronto.
Toronto.
I'll go Toronto.
Yeah, let's go Toronto.
And the Western semifinals. We have the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus the BC Lions. I'm gonna go with the homer pick and go with BC.
I'll go Rough Riders.
Yeah,
BC.
BC.
And Nathan Rourke we trust. And Juggerbear, you said Sask, right?
Saskatchewan, right?
Alright, next. Saints Panthers!
Yes, the
the tank bowl.
Little update about this. In our March Madness-esque predictions, every single person picked the Panthers to win.
Oh,
you know what? I'm gonna go for a different prediction. This one ends in a tie.
I will accept ties.
If they tie, Luke, I feel like if they tie.
If they tied, I'm gonna get Noah's gonna. If the Panthers tied, Noah's gonna automatically win.
No. Here's what I think. I think it's fair that tie. If you correctly pick ties, 10 points.
Unfortunately,
double down.
Unfortunately for Noah and Juggerbear, I'm just taking their average.
No. I get that. I'm just saying, 10 points is.
Yeah, if you get it, you get it right. If you somehow guess the tie, dog can do 10.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm going to pick. I'm gonna pick. If Andy Dalton's starting. No, Derek Carr's also starting. I'm gonna have to go with the Saints.
I'm going with the Panthers. This feels like the type of game the Dennis Allen Saints will find a way to lose.
Yeah, and if they lose, I hope they fire Dennis Allen. This will be like the fireable offense. Jugger, who are you taking in the glorious Tank Bowl?
I mean, Panthers have Derek Carr back, so I don't know them.
Panthers? Taking the Panthers?
Did you say Panthers or Saints?
Yeah. Panthers or Saints?
I think Juggerbear died.
He died.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Derek Carr. Derek Carr.
Saints?
You're taking
Saints.
Okay, there you go, Saints.
Yeah. Saints. All right. Okay. Lions, Packers. I will take the Lions.
Lions.
I'm going Lions as well. I expect a high-scoring game.
It should be a good game. Who are you going to take, Jugger and Noah?
I said Lions.
Lions? Okay. Jugger, who are you taking?
Lions.
What?
Actually, earlier I said Packers on a walk-off field goal, so let's just stick with it.
Packers? Okay. Upsets! Can be anything in the CFB or NFL. Taegan, you have a double down back. Me and Nick still have our double downs. So you have your double down back. I want to say Vanderbilt because somehow Vanderbilt is $7,500.
That feels like a cheat code right there. I'm taking Vanderbilt.
I want to take Vanderbilt. It's not a double down, but to be double down, they have to be 9. Let's be a 9.
Yeah, I cannot believe they're underdogs for that.
Yeah, I think the easy one is Vanderbilt. I'm gonna take Vanderbilt. I'm gonna take Vandy.
I have plenty of options, but there are a couple that are sticking out.
Okay.
Cincinnati is -7, and they're playing the Raiders.
NFL 7 is a double down eligible. If it's in the NFL 7 is double down eligible.
Jacksonville is also 7.5. I mean, Philadelphia 7.5 against Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
It is what I could do, and what a part of me thinks might happen is, KC is -8.5, so I could double down against KC. And truly, get one up on the Chiefs. But you know what? I'm gonna be safe this week. I'm gonna have my double down for another day. However, you know what? Give me Denver against Baltimore.
Right. Just a normal upset. Okay. Who do you want as an upset, Noah?
I always feel like the dumbest man alive for always doubting Miami. I just can't bring myself to buy into Cristobal, man. I just can't. I think Duke's gonna beat him.
Duke. Ooh, Duke. Yep. Duke is. What was Duke? What was it? Yeah, oh shit, it's -21. Yeah, you're good. Juggerbear, who is your upset this week?
Can it be NFL or
CFB, as long as it's 3.5. 3.5 or greater.
That was upsets. We're looking at upsets here.
Can be anything in the CFB, or NFL.
You could pick up. We already used it, so.
Okay.
Wait,
You
who
could
count?
pick up where I left off and pick the Buccaneers against the Chiefs. That'd be pretty ballsy, and it would be your luck that the Buccaneers end up winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Buccaneers. Why not? Chiefs are due for a loss here.
All right, and then wild card can be any two NFL games. Give me anything to your heart's content. I want. Give me. I'm gonna be a cheap ass. Give me Bills and give me the. Give me the. Commanders. Give me Bills and Commanders.
You know what? Give me Falcons and Cleveland.
Nick?
I will go the Eagles over the Jaguars, seeing the Eagles facing a depleted Doug Peterson coached team. And I will, give me the Falcons.
Also, Luke, this is just a reminder for next week. We have to put down Giants and Panthers for the German Tank Bowl.
Okay. I thought you were about to tell me when FIU was going to debut their Miami Vice GTA jerseys.
They did last week.
Fuck, why didn't no one tell me I would have put them on?
I literally told you in advance, and you're
No, not
like,
in advance.
Yeah,
I didn't know when they were using them. No one told
That's
when
whatever.
No one told when they were using them. Alright, Jugger, what are your any two NFL picks?
Give me just a sec.
No problem. Not a problem.
Did anyone pick Kami's Giants yet?
We've picked, lots of people pick Commanders, but it doesn't matter who you pick. If you want Commies and Giants, you can...
Then I'll go Bills over Dolphins, and...
Bills?
Why not? Browns beat the Chargers.
Browns. Noah, what'd you like?
Rams beat the Seahawks, Bears beat the Cardinals.
Rams
You
over...
are a brave man for picking Chicago.
Bears
But
and...
me personally, I wouldn't.
Bears and Seahawks? Or Bears and Rams?
Bears and Rams.
Okay.
Bears and Rams.
Okay, I was like, Seahawks, like, what? Alright, that's gonna do it for us this week. Quick Pick'ems update for the five of us. In last place it is Adain with 111 points. In fourth is Taegan with 112. I am in third with 120. Also, talk about being mid, am I right? Spencer's in second with 131, and Nick's in first with 132.
Hey, let's go.
I demand a recount. This is bullshit.
I'm sorry, but Nick's week of perfection has literally lifted him up from from Spencer's massive lead to being ahead of him. Spencer had a huge lead.
I call insider pick'em. I
mean, Taegan, if it makes you feel better, I think you still have... No, you're over 50%. You're over 50% in getting things right. So, yeah! Look at that! Positive! And Aiden's fall from grace needs to be studied. He was neck and neck with Spencer and Nick to start, and then he's just fallen off a map. God damn. Anyways, Noah, you have what's 26? 18 over 26, I think. Where's the calculator? Really good percentage.
it's like 70. It's like 60-70%.
60-70%, and Juggerbear's 50%. So, yeah. Don't worry. Next year, when all part-time sickos will have to be in the pick'ems when we start the UFL again, so that's gonna be fun too. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you're new here, please subscribe. Follow everybody on their social media platforms. And I hope everybody enjoys a great weekend of football ahead of us. Also, don't forget to watch Untitled Yankees Project when that comes out. That's going to be very fun. Very, very fun. And depending upon what happens, I might do the Untitled Colts projects. I have a very stupid idea for it.
Nice. Yeah, just record that and I'll edit it.
Yeah. You'll. I think Nick knows what I'm going to do with it. Anyways, we'll see you next time. Peace.